Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and as you have already figured out, today we're talking about a brand new collection that's launching from ColourPop Cosmetics. This is the Big Poppy collection. It's all based around a palette that we saw launched during their Cyber Week deals. Of course, the Big Poppy palette. This is a mid-size collection. Of course, it has this 9-pan Big Poppy palette. There's also a Forthright and Soul Body product, 3 Lippy Pencils, 3 Lippie Stix, and 2 pressed powder blushes. This collection is launching on Thursday, December 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so make sure you check your time zones. I'm going to give you as much information as I possibly can, all of the confirmed prices. I'm going to show you close-ups of the products, of the packaging. We're going to do swatches. I have a lot of comparisons. So let's start with the Forthright Face Milk. This is not a new product. The Papaya Face Milk was existing. It is priced at $14 US, and it does come in some cute new poppy packaging for this collection. The face milks are a lightweight moisturizer, and they come with this little dropper dispenser. The Shimmering Dry Oil from Soul Body is in the shade Peach Bellini. This is a mini size. It's priced at $10, and this is not a new shade. Again, this is an existing product that has been repackaged for this Poppy collection. Now let's get into the real fun stuff. We have 2 pressed powder blushes. These are going to be priced at $8 a piece, and these are new products. The Poppy packaging is really pretty. It has these little metallic accents, and it is really bright and colorful. The blush boxes are exactly the same. The outer packaging is exactly the same. So it's a plastic packaging. The only difference is the sticker on the back indicates the shade name, but otherwise both of these compacts are exactly the same. When you open them up, there is a nice size mirror in here. This is the lighter of the 2 shades. It's called Foxy, sort of a pale, warm, peachy, orangey type of color. It does have gold glitter throughout. This is not an overspray. This is a shimmery blush. Next, we're looking at the deeper shade. Again, exact same details, same packaging. This does have a locking clasp closure, so it is not magnetic. It clasps closed. And this blush is called Out of Sight. Like I said, this is the deeper shade. So once we open it up, you'll see it does, of course, have a mirror. These are the only mirrored products in this collection. The palette does not have a mirror. And Out of Sight is still a warm shade, still a gold glittery shade. It's just a deeper terracotta type of color. And that is a lot more evident once you see these 2 shades swatched side by side. Foxy is a lighter peachy, and Out of Sight is a deeper terracotta type of color. Now we're going to do some blush comparisons. I know there are probably a lot of other shades that you'll want to see compared with these blushes. I just grabbed a few that I thought would be good comparisons and that people would want to see. So these are the 2 from the Mulan collection. Good Luck Charm is more similar than Matchmaker. And these 2 blushes are from their holiday collection. And again, the deeper shade Love Story is a lot more similar. The lighter one, Secret Crush, is definitely much more pinky, bubblegum pink. Now, this is the one I really wanted to see. These are from the Wild Nothing collection, and they have a very similar outer packaging. And as you can see, the shades are quite similar too. They're not exactly the same, but once they're on the cheek, I think it's pretty much gonna look the same. And the Shook to the Coral blush, this is from the Coast to Coral collection. This one is decently similar as well. It does look like a pretty solid midpoint between Foxy and Out of Sight. Now, let's talk about the Lippy Pencils. I know I'm breezing through this really quickly, but I'm trying to get this video out for you ahead of the launch. The Lippy Pencils are going to be priced at $6 a piece. They have special outer packaging. The Lippy Pencils themselves also look a little bit different than the standard ones. They have a little modified font, but overall, pretty much exactly the same. These do still need to be sharpened. They do not twist up, and each one has a corresponding colored cap. So this does make it easier to grab the shade that you're looking for. Here are the swatches of the 3 Lippy pencils. Petal Please is the lightest. Field Day is a mid-tone, and So Happy is the deepest shade, and these do correspond with the Lippie Stix. We'll see them all together here in a minute. First, I want to show you just one quick comparison because I found these to be very, very similar to the BFF line, which is very beloved, so I see why we're kind of revisiting this color story. BFF3 is the main difference. Now let's take a look at the Lippie Stix. These are priced at $7 a piece, and kind of a similar idea with the special packaging here. The outer box is really where the poppy theme shines, and then the Lippie Stix themselves look pretty similar to the standard permanent Lippie Stix. I do notice that they're going for these kind of clear caps now, which I like. I think those are cool. And we do see the shade names printed on the bottom here. Mine don't say what the finish is. Typically that would be on that bottom sticker, but I feel like these are all matte, possibly satin finish, but just based on using them, I think that these are the matte finish, which is really comfortable. It's not too drying. It has a good wear time. Overall, I think the matte Lippie Stix are some of their best products that they've had long term. And I did want to show you a few comparisons with the Lippie Stix shades as well. We could do these all day long, but I just tried to pick the best ones in this first comparison. I think these look pretty darn similar. Parker's a little bit more pinky, but overall these are probably the best match, at least from my collection. And then these aren't as comparable, but these are the shades that first came to mind for me, and it's always interesting to see how different these are from my initial reaction, so that's why I included these. Lastly, for the lips, I just wanted to show you the Lippy Pencils and the Lippie Stix swatched all together. These are very solid matches, and I'm not sure if they'll sell them in little bundles like this, but they probably will. They just haven't announced that yet. Now, for my favorite part of every collection, it's time to look at the palette. This is a 9-pan palette. We're seeing those really cool metallic accent details again. I was a little bit nervous about this one because there are a lot of red-based shades. I was worried that we'd be getting a lot of eye safety warnings. There are none to be found on the outer packaging nor on the palette itself, so I'm very happy about that. This is one of their cardboard 9-pan palettes, which means that it has a magnetic closure, and there is no mirror inside of this palette. There are some more of those shiny details though, and I love shiny things even though they distract me. Let's take a look at the shades now. All the shade names are printed inside next to the palette. This is an all matte palette. There are no shimmers to be found in here, which also means no glitter, so I'm happy about that. So let's take a look at the swatches of this big poppy palette. The finger swatches are pictured on top, and then each corresponding brush swatch is directly below. This palette swatches beautifully. The finger and brush swatches look pretty much exactly the same. My biggest gripe is that those center bright orange shades all end up looking pretty darn similar to one another, but performance-wise, no complaints from me. Let's see how this compares to a whole bunch of other palettes. There are so many warm, orangey, palettes on the market that it would be an hours and hours long video if I tried to do all of them. So I just tried to grab the ones that I thought would be most useful and most interesting. Hopefully I'm hitting most of the main requests. We will do swatch comparisons over on my Instagram stories in the next few days. But for now, I think that I really grabbed a lot of the really popular palettes, things that you're likely to already have in your collection. I hope at least that this is helpful, but Naked Heat, especially the Petite Heat, I knew people would want to see that one. Tartelette Toasted, this is a newer palette. It's the Lorac PRO Soleil. This is way less similar than I thought it was going to be. It just lets me know that Pro Soleil is not nearly as orange as I thought that it was when I first started playing with it, but still pretty similar, at least worth comparing. Another very well-known all matte palette is from Too Faced. This is the Just Peachy Mattes palette, and this one is considerably more pinky, whereas Big Poppy is definitely a lot more orangey, but still got a couple of similar shades in there. And I'm gonna warn you right now, my arm starts to get very, very stained towards the end. It's just what happens when you swatch a bunch of red-based shadows, I guess. This is the OG ColourPop palette, the Yes Please palette, and some decent overlap here. I could see these actually working well together as companion palettes, but pretty similar shades. Next, we have the Soul palette. This is the original all orange palette way back in the day when they first started releasing 9-pan palettes. Soul has a little bit more red and it definitely has some shimmer shades in there, but you know, these palettes that we're comparing overall, there's going to be a very decent amount of overlap. Costa Coral is another one like the Just Peachy Mattes from Too Faced that is a lot more pink looking, especially compared to Big Poppy. I think Costa Coral looks more orangey on its own until you see it with a really orangey palette. So, you know, speaking of orangey palettes, we have to talk about the Orange You Glad palette, the all orange monochromatic palette. How many times have I said orange in this video? It feels like a lot. I didn't swatch the glitters because, as you can see, my arm was starting to get really irritated and really stained, so I did not bother to swatch the glitters because this is an all matte palette anyway, so glitter is not going to be a super helpful comparison. And same with the Baby Got Peach palette. I abstained from swatching the Baby Got Peach glitter as well. And here we see a couple shades overlap. Again, I think this could be a good little companion palette situation. Overall, I think this is a really cute collection. I'm probably least excited about these repeat skincare products. Probably most excited for the deeper blush called Out of Sight. And I'm not a huge Lippy pencil wearer, so these are kind of neither here nor there for me. But if you really like to line your lips, then this could be a great option for you. Personally, I like to go straight in with the Lippie Stix, and I think that the Lippie Stix are absolutely beautiful in this collection. I'm really happy to see those making a comeback. And you know, I do like this palette. I don't like it more than the Little Ray of Sunshine palette. That's the other all matte 9-pan that they came out with recently, the sunflower themed one. I prefer that one just because it is more unique in my collection. And when it comes down to it, these orangey, toasty, neutral type of shades are something that I do have quite a lot of. So it's okay. It performs well. It's just not as useful or as exciting to me as a new blush or some new Lippie Stix would be, but you know, that's just one girl's opinion. I would love to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested in it? Is it going on your wish list? Make sure you leave all your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And just don't forget that I love your face so much, and I will see you with my face in another video again really soon. Okay, all right, thanks. Okay, I love you. Bye.